Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into my channel. I'm Ebony the author. So today I'm going to be talking about the process it took me to write both books. What was my inspiration behind it? Why did I write the books? What was I thinking when I wrote the books? Just everything about my two children's books. So the first book I published was Mommy and Me. So this is Mommy and Me. And it was officially published on April 7th, April 6th, 2017. I started writing in February of 2016, and that just goes to show you that, children's books are not easy to publish and to produce. So what was my inspiration behind Mommy and Me? Being that I taught in the Board of Ed, a lot of my students came from single-family homes, like I mentioned in my first video, and I would see these mothers come every day at like 7:30 in the morning, dropping their kids off. They wouldn't come back until 6:30 that night, and then they would go home and repeat the whole cycle again. And so to me, that was miraculous, because that's the type of mother that I strive to be, a hardworking mother that, regardless of what the situation may look like, I'm always going to do what I need to do for my child and for my children. And that's what I seen in those mothers. And to me, that just embodied strength. And that was the epitome of strength that, I even see in my mother. Even though I didn't come from a single mother home, I see that same strength in my mother. And so a lot of people ask me, why is the mom in the story a superhero? And I channeled that strength into what a superhero and what a super mom would look like. And by creating this character, I feel like a lot of mothers, even if they're not single mothers, a lot of mothers can relate to having these superpowers. Especially as children, we look up to our parents, and although sometimes we may not agree with what they want us to do and the way that they want us to live our lives, but they still have a whole bunch of strength that we one day acquire to have. And so that's what I wanted children and even young adults or mothers to think about when they read this story, that okay, although I'm in this situation, I still have strength and I'm still strong to accomplish everything I set out to be. And that's what I think of myself. Although I don't have children, I still one day want to be the strongest person that a lot of people around me know. So I'm not going to do a read aloud today, but in my next video I will do read alouds of both of my books. But this is the superhero in my story. This is one of the illustrations from my book. One struggle I had when producing this book was trying to publish it. Me and my illustrator, shout out to Taekwon, we would be up like 3 o'clock in the morning, like texting each other, like, did you get it? Sending pictures of what our computer screen looked like. And that was the hardest thing. I'm like, why can't it just hit? Like, I had a deadline to release the book in February. Couldn't even release the book till April. So I'm like, why isn't it hitting? Why isn't it hitting? Then after no sleep at all, it finally hit. I got the approval from Amazon. It was like, your book has been published. Everything is fine. Everything looks great. I got the proof of the book, and I was like, this is it. Like, we did it. And it wasn't until like 2 months after I wrote the book, I still was like, yo, I just wrote a book. Like, I just dropped the book. I had no idea I was writing a book, but I just dropped the book. And for me, that was huge. Like, a lot of people around me didn't know I was even writing a book. So for me to just like drop it and just like say I did it, that was huge, because it taught me that when you're doing something that, is important to you, you don't have to let everybody around you know. Like, everybody doesn't have to be in on what you're doing, because you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for everybody else. And so I didn't want to lose track of why I was writing my book by telling everybody else, like, oh yeah, I'm about to be an author. That wasn't even a thought. Like, I just wanted to get my voice out there and my story out there. And so I was like, I'm not going to tell anybody until I drop it. And that's exactly what I did. So here you have Mommy and Me. So it's so crazy that once I finished writing Mommy and Me, I'm on the train. This is before I had a car. I'm on the train and I'm like, okay, Mommy and Me just dropped a week ago. What's my second book? And literally on the train, I wrote the whole entire book of what my second book was going to be. And that is Best Friend First, Dad Second. So this book really meant a lot to me, because although I dedicated the first book to my mom. Like, I didn't write it with real life events that me and her shared, or things we did, with her and my sister. I didn't include those type of real life stories that I did in Best Friend First, Dad Second. And everything in this book was real life things that me and my father, with my sister, spent time with him doing. And this book just really meant a lot to me because me and my father are really close. If you know me, you know me and my father are like super close. Like, that's my dog. But this book was really like big for me because, again, nobody really knew that I was coming up with a second one, but then I eventually let people in on it because I felt like this book was important in today's society. I just feel like young black men, or black men period, don't have a good reputation in today's society as being fathers. They're always looked at as the bad person, somebody who's not paying child support, or somebody who's not in their children's lives. And I just wanted to show the world something different of what my father showed me and my sister growing up, that, there are fathers that want to have tea parties with their kids every week, and there are fathers that want to help you with their homework, and there's fathers that just want to talk to you and just figure out what's going on in your life so that they can make it better. And that's what my dad did for me growing up. And that's why I look to my dad as that safe haven and that personal security guard, because that's what he was, and that's kind of what he still is to me. Let somebody look at me wrong, he's gonna come for you, trust me. But no, writing this book for me was easy because, like, he would actually do my hair. Every morning he would do my hair, and it really was not the best, so I had to show that in the story, but it's still a cute way to, show the effort that fathers put in, especially my dad put in when I was younger growing up. And this was also a book that I enjoyed writing because it's like, okay, I'm about to honor my father with this book, and he doesn't even know it. And it wasn't until before I was about to publish the book, and I said, oh, come here, I want you to read this on my computer. And he just read it, and he was like, wow. Like, he just started smiling. He was like, wow, this is really nice. And, I didn't want it to be like, oh, Dad, I wrote a book for you, like, I'm the better daughter. It wasn't like that. It was just like, okay, I'm going to write books about my family first. My sister's coming next, so don't worry. I wanted to write a book about, people that was closest to me before I wrote about fictional stories. So a lot of people ask me, oh, which book do you like better? And I can't be biased because I wrote the both of them. But if I had to choose, it would definitely be Best Friend First, Dad Second. Only because leading up to my release of this book was kind of an emotional time for me. My father had gotten really sick, and, he was in hospital for almost a month. And for me, I didn't even want to do a shoot for the book. I didn't want to do a photo shoot for this book like I did for Mommy and Me, because I'm like, okay, I just need to get this book out there. Only because I'm in this state, especially with my dad, I just need him to get better, and then I released the book. I still had a deadline to meet, so I'm like, okay, I can't push the release back. But I wasn't into it as much, but I was anticipating the release more than I was thinking about a photo shoot. And so that's why that story behind the release would always be my favorite right now. So that's why for me, this book would kind of always have a place in my heart, especially because of the relationship I do have with my father and the fact that he's better now. And, we can laugh and we can joke about the book. And he always makes jokes about how I made him look 20 years old in this picture. But whatever. So a lot of people ask me, like, oh, you're an author now? Like, I know you got money. I know you're doing this. Sis, no. I mean, yes, you get profit with your books. But for me, money is, I don't want to say it's not an issue, but it's not something that I highlight when I say I'm an author. Like, it's like, I'm an author, I'm getting money. No, that's not what I incorporate with being an author. Being an author is, okay, I'm going to sit in front of 20 students at a school in 10 classrooms, and I'm going to read you my story. And I'm going to answer questions to inspire you to be a writer. And so that for me is the biggest reward. Being an author is not something that it's like, oh yeah, I'm an author. To be honest with you, I'm really embarrassed when people are like, oh my God, you're an author, you wrote a book. And I'm just like, oh my God, like text me, like don't talk about it, because I don't know why to this day I'm still really shy about the whole author thing. I'm not good with titles. I don't want the spotlight to be on me. So now that I am an author, it's kind of hard adjusting, to the whole thing. But so for everybody who reads this book, whether you're a parent or you're a child, I just want you to realize that family is probably one of the most important things that you can have in your life. And once you lose your family, for me, I would lose everything. Once my family is gone, I have nothing, because family is really what builds you up when you know, you feel like you're at your lowest point, or you feel like you can't do it anymore and I just want to give up, your family is always right there behind you saying, you can do this, you got it, like you're winning, like you're actually doing this. And I just want you guys to realize that, you know, when you read my stories or every day of your lives, like, you know, family is the biggest thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little jewels that I just dropped, explaining the production of both of my books, Mommy and Me and Best Friend First, Dad Second. If you guys don't have it, definitely check it out. And I'm only telling you that because they're my books. But no, they're actually really great books. So definitely check them out and purchase them. I will be doing a giveaway soon, so stay tuned for that. So thank you guys for checking in. See you guys later.